When the movie starts, we are shown a girl named Miriam, who came to Venus. He had a fight with his husband, because of which, she wanted to stay away from him. There, she visits many places and do a prayer in church. There, seeing a statue, she starts weeping, because that statue had held a young child. And the reason of this was her miscarriage. When she goes to home, her husband calls her, but she wasn't agreed to patch up with him. Next day, when she's in church to pray, she listens the voices of some demon souls. And she also sees statue of demon everywhere. And unknowingly, she says that she wants a child. And after saying this, she captures in the trap of demons. Then she goes to his husband. They purchased a house, which was 100 kilometers away. They both decide to live there. Other house, which was close to their house, was also 12 kilometers away. It was clear that the place where they're going to live is all deserted. They both become so happy to meet each other. One day, while exploring the house, Miriam sees a strange thing. She sees that eyes of one statue are wide open and are suddenly closed. By seeing this, Miriam gets scared. Then she sees demonic faces on walls who are shouting on her. She oftenly felt as if someone is whispering in her ears. One day she sees a demon now, who's shouting at her. Miriam's husband asks her that, is she taking medicines on time or not? Here they both get into a fight, where we get to know about psychiatric treatment of Miriam. Because of which, they start fighting. Gabriel says that the blogs which I write are source of our income. Your paintings are useless, and says much more to her. He also says that you only think about yourself. In fact, I run this house, but you don't care about my life. He says that you also lost your child. Hearing this, Miriam gets upset and leaves at that time. She skips her medicine at night, because of which her brain was getting affected. She imagines as if she's making her baby asleep by singing him a lorry. Next day, they fight again. Gabriel says that you broke my classic car yesterday, which were only 400 in number in the world. Now, he had become so furious, so he starts breaking his own car. After it, she throws away all of her medicine and draws a painting in anger. When this painting comes to its completion, it turns out to be so scary. While Gabriel was in his study room, he feels that someone except him is also here. He feels presence of somebody else. When he's sitting beside fire, he listens someone's whisper. Suddenly, someone appears in front of him and kills him by attacking his head. On the other hand, when Miriam wakes up from sleep, she sees blood as well as paint on her hands. But she ignores it. Here we are shown indirectly that Miriam is the killer of her husband. She had forgotten everything because of her mental disorder. She washes her hands and she sees that scary painting behind her, which she made. When she comes back, she sees that painting was on its place. When she sees that painting, many visions approach her mind, like she's being slipped on blood again and again. But in reality, nothing like this is happening. She was standing still on her place, and even there was no blood on floor. She leaves her studio and finds Gabriel everywhere and goes back inside. She doesn't remember how and what happened to her. When she wakes up from sleep, she feels severe abdominal pain. An old lady comes to her door and gives her fresh bread by saying that she's her neighbor. She's the neighbor who lives 12 kilometers away from her house. Before leaving, she says to Miriam, "I'll see you very soon," and then she leaves. In door's glass reflection, we see Miriam, which is getting aggressive and suddenly becomes normal. Her belly starts swelling and then becomes normal itself. Next day, a parcel for Gabriel is received, and the delivery man was an ugly man. He says to her, "I'll see you very soon," with black eyes, and went away. At the same time, that old lady comes again, and this time, her neighbor Raven is also with her. They both have come to meet Miriam, but she refuses to meet them at this time. Raven gives her contact number and leaves. Next day, Miriam listens someone's voice from house. She thinks that it might be Gabriel. But there's no Gabriel, but a demon who rashly chases Miriam. Miriam saves her life by hiding herself in a storeroom. After watching out for some time, this demon goes away. When Miriam is sitting anxiously, 3 ladies come to the door. These girls tell her that they are sent by that old lady Bella and Raven. They ask Miriam to teach them her painting skills. When they reach studio, they ask Miriam to invite them inside. Here we are shown that these ladies were followers of the demon, and they couldn't go anywhere without his permission. Miriam is talking to them when they transform into their real original look. They tortures her a lot. She becomes fed up and asks them to leave. After they leave, she also went in Gabriel's car and thinks to leave. Car wasn't starting, but oppositely, car's FM turns on. Then fire breaks into car. Somehow, Miriam saves her life and gets outside. Her house is locked, so she becomes trapped outside the house. But she goes inside by breaking windows' glass. When she calls Raven in night, she hears demonic voices instead of human. Demon tells her that, "You made a promise." That was the same promise which Miriam did while praying for a child. That she'll do anything in return after having baby. She takes out her gun and goes outside, but no one is here. But when she comes outside of her studio, she sees Raven. She plans to kill Raven because she thinks that she's also a demon. Raven relaxes her, and when Miriam opens the door, she gets in alone. But Raven asks Miriam to let her in and to invite her. Miriam understands that she's also a follower of demon and closes the door. She sees many demons on every window, but in reality, no one is there. In fact, demon was showing her visions. Here, we get to know that neither those 3 girls nor Raven was follower of demon. But it was only demon who was showing her visions. Unknowingly, Miriam shoots Raven, who was outside. Next day, 2 detectives come there. One thinks that Miriam is mad in reality, whereas the other says that it can be real-life demon too, and there is some glitch too. They give Miriam their contact number and go. As soon as they go, she seals whole house from inside so that no one can enter. In night, she reads Bible and prays to God to forgive her. That she demanded for the wrong thing, unknowingly. Demon replies her, "There is no God to help you, Miriam. He doesn't exist." She hears Gabriel's voice from outside and becomes very happy. She opens the door and asks Gabriel to come inside. As he comes inside, he turns into a demon. He tries to force her harshly. Next day, when she wakes up, she sees those detectives. She considers them as followers of demon. She jumps into the pool. She finds 5 dead bodies in pool. They all were killed by none than other, but Miriam. And who were they all? They were Gabriel, Raven, and those 3 girls. Both detectives take her out of the water and take her to the hospital. Both detectives get into a fight and argue each other. One says that it's done by demon, but the other one blames Miriam and says that she unknowingly injured herself because she's mad. When they look inside, they see that Miriam's belly is swollen. They get so confused seeing this. That how is this possible that her belly has become this larger in just a day? At last, they agree each other that this is demon's deed. At the end of movie, we are shown a sentence, the beginning, which means that this was basically a start, and here, movie ends.